Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Josh Hose Show. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, and with me is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Josh Hose. I want to thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. And, Coach, welcome back to the show.
Always good to be here.
Coach, your Tigers are now 10-11 on the season after playing 3 more games in the past week. Your latest game was a 4-point loss at home against Glen Oak last Saturday night. More on that in a moment, but it's important to note it was also senior night. Talk about that and tell us about the honoring of your 2 senior players.
Well, shame we couldn't send them off with a win. And, guys, we played very hard. And we talked about that after the game. We won 3 out of 4 quarters. We just had a really bad third quarter where we, gave up some easy ones. But the seniors, have been great all year. And, Curtis obviously at point for us has played a lot of minutes and played a huge role for us. And I think we really saw the impact of him when he was sick against Wadsworth, and then we didn't have him, basically didn't have him against Boardman because he was not playing his normal way. Just how important he is to our team. And so, just really, he's been just kind of a guy that's waited his turn and played behind some really good players at the point, and has stepped into a huge role for us this year and done a great job. And then, you look at Nate Watkins, who, hasn't played as many minutes, but has also played an important role for us, backing up Ardell, playing alongside Ardell at times. An undersized post man at times for us. He has to guard multiple positions, and I think that's Nate's best ability is his ability to guard multiple players. Whether it's a wing or a post. And he's a unique athlete that way. He's going to go play college football at Alderson Broadus, and Nate's been a great leader for us. Even when things, maybe he's not playing as many minutes, he's super positive in practice and in the locker room, and just 2 great kids, and just really we're excited to be able to start both of them and let them get a little bit of recognition before the game. But ultimately, we were disappointed we couldn't bring home a victory on senior night for them.
Let's talk about the game. First of all, it was a home game.
Yes.
Something that you haven't seen for a long time. Mm-hmm. A 4-point loss is always tough. You mentioned a difficult third quarter. How about getting into that a little further?
Sure. We had 7 straight road games going into that one. We lost a home game with Worcester at one point along the way. It's our 4th game in the week, and I think our 5th game in a week and a half, whatever it was, 7-8 days. Mm-hmm. It was something crazy where we just had that stretch. I think we played Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, something like that. And so the guys were battle tested at that point. We've had some close wins and some close losses, and end up 10-11 for the season. And, we talked to 10, 12 points difference. We're 4 wins better, 3 wins better. Going back to the Glen Oak game, mm-hmm. Lose by 3. We end up losing by 4, but up the whole first half, second half we come out and they pressed us, and our guys, we turned it over a couple times. We didn't execute a couple things. We called some timeouts, tried to adjust some things, but it just, it took us a while to fix up to they throw a lot of guys at you, and I think they just came at us in waves, and so I think we ended up 24-5 or something in that quarter, outscored, and it's been a bad trend for us. We've had a couple of third quarters that really have hurt us, and so, but that being said, we fought back in. 4th quarter, we're battling along, gave ourselves a chance, had a couple of shots to tie it or cut it to 1, and then at the end of the game, they ended up winning by 4, and I think Brendan Crow had a 4-point play, I think, or something crazy like that. Just hit a big shot and got fouled, and it was good to see at the end of the year, going back to the last couple games, to see our guys show that fight and that grit to keep coming through adverse situations. And maybe at the beginning of the year we didn't show that as much. If we blew a lead, we were done. If the team made a run at us, it would take us a while to recover from that. And the last couple games, we've really done a good job of responding to other teams' runs and other teams, kind of coming at us. And I always tell them, they're going to come at you, third quarter if you're up, they're going to come at you and make a run. So we've responded to that pretty well. And, overall, like I said, I've seen a lot of growth out of this team. We knew there's a possibility we'd have some games like this where we don't have the experience of closing those out, and it kind of showed through at the end of the year a couple times where we just didn't finish the game the way we wanted to.
Friday night, let's talk about a win at Firestone. Your Tigers coming up with a 65-58 victory.
Yeah, so Firestone's a team. Like I said, their record told the guys it's misleading. They were 0-6 to start the year, 8-5 after that point, and so you got a big guy inside, a freshman that's just a mountain, and. He's not great scorer, but he's a big body. So that was concern. And then they had some guards that can get it going. Pretty quick and athletic. They had a kid came off the bench on fire. We were mixing up our man in our zone and different things, and he just. The third quarter, he's just shooting, 30-footers. And it's like I felt like I was watching Steph Curry out there shooting in the All-Star game. But our guys had a good lead at half. Came out the second half, they cut it and tied it. But then we never gave it the lead. So that was a big thing. We responded. Had multiple guys involved. But Ardell, I think first half was special. He had. I think 15 points in the first half. He ended up at the end of the game with 15 offensive rebounds alone, and 20. I think he ended up with 17 points, 20 rebounds, something crazy like that, and had a couple tip dunks back to back, which is special. He was just playing really well. And the second half, they started keying on him, and then Eli, who's coming up here, had a huge game. I think career high, 25 points, 12 rebounds, and had a huge game for us. Chris Knight is a freshman. He played his first 2 games of varsity basketball, made meaningful minutes, and he had 10 points at Boardman and 5 points Friday night. Just key points, and he's just one guy of many that just came in and contributed. And saw a lot of multiple efforts that just helped us get that win.
And you mentioned Boardman last Tuesday, February 15th, over at Boardman. A 1-point loss to the Spartans. Tell us about that.
Weird game. We long travel, back-to-back game. It's hard when you don't have a chance to practice. And our guys, we played Monday, turned around and played Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So we spotted them a 20-point lead. I think halfway through the third quarter, we're down 13-33. Wow. And it was just. We just weren't ourselves. We're sleepwalking. We tried everything. We tried. They threw a zone at us, which they hadn't seen much in the scout film that we watched, and we tried pretty much. Like I said, we just threw the kitchen sink at them. We tried this. We tried. And our guys just were kind of in a different mode, and we just went to a little run and jump action that we used to run, but we really haven't repped it with this team at all. We just drew it up on the board and hey, let's try this. See if we can get something going. And boom, we go on a 19-0 run.
Wow.
And end up tying the game up. They take a 6-point lead. We come back tied up again with I think it was 10 seconds left. And the end of the game got goofy. Like we had, there's 10 seconds left. Come out of the timeout. There's 12 seconds left. On the road, whatever. Yeah. We tried to run this press. They got a guy down there. Misses a couple shots, rebounds. They end up calling a foul with 0.9 seconds left from half court. The guy under the basket saying it's a block. The guy at half court saw a foul, and at that point, it's you're on the road. Those calls happen. We were trying to get more time added to the clock, and there may have been a second or two it ran off that we saw. But he ends up going 1 for 2 at the line, and we end up losing by 1. And it's frustrating for our guys. But I said, the way we started that probably cost us, not the way we ended it. Right. And again, I think we go back to the response of being down 20 and guys coming back and making a play. And I think again, Ardell had one of those games. He kept us in it, and I think he had 20 points that game too. So he's just really had a good stretch of games, and is the guy that we thought has the varsity experience, is going to lead us in these tough times. But the young guys and experienced guys, he's done a really good job with that. And again, we had guys stepping up and making big plays, and Chris Knight, first time on the court, and gets 10 points and just lit it up, and got a couple. It kind of sparked us a little bit, gave us a little new energy.
Very good. All right, in a moment we'll meet a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
And welcome back to the Josh Ho Show. Thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, our sponsor. Our Tiger player joining us this week is junior guard forward Elijah Farrington. And Elijah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, how old were you when you first learned the game of basketball, and who taught you the game?
When I first started playing, I was like 7 years old, and I actually played in the league at the Boys and Girls Club. I think I scored like a total of 2 points that season, and it just motivated me to get a lot better.
All right, you've been playing ever since?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you worked on this past off season to improve your game?
I think I worked on about everything you could think of. But one thing is shooting. I worked on shooting the ball with confidence.
Very good. And what has been your role on this year's Tiger team?
My role is just to shoot open shots, shoot good shots, and get rebounds. And sometimes I even guard the team's best player if I match up with them.
Excellent. As we are now heading into the first week of tournament play this coming weekend, what are some of the things that you like the most about this team?
I like how we can pull ourselves together as a team through adverse situations.
And finally, as you look back at the regular season, is there a single moment or a single game that stands out for you personally?
I like looking back at the Fitch game. You know, we get a controversial technical foul, and Drew Stitt hits a very clutch shot to put us up 3.
Okay, very good. Well, best of luck in the upcoming tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Elijah, and Coach Hoser will join the show when we return after this timeout.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
And welcome back to the Josh Ho Show. Coach, we just spoke with junior guard forward Elijah Farrington. In what ways has Eli been able to contribute to this year's team?
Well, Eli's been a big role player, not a big role player for us. He's played a big role for us. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as a guy who played on the JV last year, and he was an important player, but he wasn't like the star of the JV team. He's really stepped into a big role. Each year I've seen strides that he's just made as a player. Helps he grew like about 5-6 inches, I think, in the off season. I felt like we came back from spring break, and I didn't recognize the kid. He sprouted up, but Eli's our second leading scorer. I think he's our second rebounder. He's averaging about 12 points and 6 rebounds a game right now. He's had like 3 20-point games, and you know he's just kind of going through that season that a lot of our guys are. You know, have a game of 20, maybe have a game of 3, falling. The inconsistency there maybe was just the inexperience, but second half of the year we've got more of the consistency from him. Where I think he's starting to realize that, you know, I always tell him he's the best player in Stark County at guarding himself. You know, and what I mean by that is that he's so hard on himself sometimes. If he's missing some shots, his tendency is to, you know, defer to the other guys, and you keep stressing him, we need you to stay aggressive. We need you to be, because he can hit outside shots. He's shooting, I think I told him since Coventry game, I think he's shooting about 57% on 3-point shots. And but he also can get to the basket, and, you know, get offensive rebounds and putbacks, and I think that's a new dimension to his game that, you know, where he's got more points is going to the basket and getting rebounds and putbacks and driving the lane. And so just a really unique player, and you know, and just has been a huge addition to the varsity team because we needed that second scorer to go with Ardell, and we're starting to get that from him.
All right, so it is tournament week, heading into this week, of course. The last couple of weeks, you've had a ton of games. We've had Mother Nature disrupting practices and so forth. So what does the practice schedule look like this week as you prepare either to play Friday or Saturday this week?
Well, you know, you try to mix it up, but also keep some consistency there. So yesterday I let Coach Williams, Marquise Williams, do our practice plan, and him and Coach Combs and Coach Ullum and Coach Dudds kind of ran practice. And Coach Smith and I kind of pulled kids and did some one-on-one talks, just kind of, you know, touch base with guys, see how things are going, just a really good time to do that on a day we didn't have school. Sat down with each kid 10 minutes just to see how they're doing. Anything we can help them with, et cetera. So that was good. Today we'll have more of a typical practice, but a little bit shorter. We're going to try to keep it short. We couldn't pick up a game, didn't work out, and I think we needed a week to just heal and rest a little bit too. As a staff, we thought that was probably our better option. And then, Wednesday, we're talking about either a short practice or doing something else, away from the gym. And then we're going to go out as a team and watch the Alliance and Boardman game, grab something to eat. Thursday practice, we have a team dinner that night down at Cosmos, and our booster club took care of us. And then we don't know if we're playing Friday or Saturday, so we'll just kind of play that one by ear and just make the best of the situation and adapt. And so I think if we're ready to go Wednesday, Thursday is pretty much a game prep day in the sense of if we play Alliance, you got one day to get ready for them. And then if Boardman, you've already prepped for, so you got 2 days to get ready for them. But we played them a week ago, so we'll pretty much kind of tighten the screws on the stuff we do, and maybe add a few wrinkles here and there. But pretty much it's going to be a lot of focus on what we need to get better at.
What is your philosophy when it comes to the message that you give to your team in regards to tournament play? I mean, do you make it a big deal because, hey, it's tournament play, one and done, or is it pretty much just row the boat steady as we go?
I think more of a row the boat approach. I mean, the kids know it's not hard to understand what the tournament means. We always just talk about the nature of the style of play is a little more physical. I saw it even towards the end of the season. There's a lot more contact allowed. There's a lot more let them play, type philosophy with the referees, and I think we've adapted pretty well to that. But I think it's just don't make it more. We always say don't make it more than what it is. It's basketball. Just go out and play the game, and try to keep it pretty even keel.
All right, so you told me before we started recording here that if Alliance wins on Wednesday night, you'll play Alliance on Friday here.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And if Boardman wins, at Alliance. Mm-hmm. And then if Boardman wins, you go back to Boardman Saturday?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you won't know until Wednesday night whether you're playing Friday or Saturday. You've seen both teams. Do you have a preference? Do the Tigers match up better against either team?
No, they're both good.
Okay.
I think having seen Boardman, there's a little bit of a familiarity there. Sometimes that recently we played them, and obviously having played the way we did, I think our guys are confident we go in and play better to the start, that we have a better chance to beat them. They were on senior night. Had a couple of those nights where it's emotional. Teams play up. Alliance guys, they have some big guys. They have 6'8", 6'6", 6'3". In their starting lineup, so that presents a different challenge to us. But we've scrimmaged them before, and we know them from the summer. So there's not a preference there. They're both good teams, I guess. The road trip is a little bit closer to Alliance than Boardman, but I don't know if we have a preference. I guess we'll play whoever we obviously have to, but I think there's a better situation maybe playing a Boardman where them a little bit better than a team you scrimmaged in November when we weren't at full strength and they weren't at full strength. Right. So, it is what it is. You're going to play somebody good, this time of year, and once you get past that first round, usually you don't have easy games.
Well, best of luck.
No, thank you.
All right. That is going to wrap it up for another edition of the Josh Ho Show. Our show brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling of Massillon. Thanks to Josh and junior guard forward Elijah Farrington for joining us on the program this week. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Bye, sweetie. I love you.
Bye, Mommy. I love you.
No matter where life takes you, MCTV helps make sure you're never far from home.
Hi. Are you being good for Daddy?
Yes. Can we read a bedtime story?
MCTV connects you to home because that's what matters most.
Good night.
MCTV. We go the extra smile.